Hey, it's DIY Gemini, and today we're making an easy shoe bench for my entryway. All right, while this bench is going to be really basic and pretty easy to construct, it's going to be a lot of straight cuts. I do want to always do something new. If you've been following this channel for a while, I always want to learn a new technique or learn a new style of doing things. So today, instead of doing my usual route, I'm going to try to do traditional woodworking joinery with a mortise and tenon. So that's going to be no fasteners today. It's going to be no screws or no nails. We're going to strictly be doing good old-fashioned woodworking joints. So advanced woodworkers, don't come for me. I'm still practicing. But yeah, so I'm really excited because I really do want to practice more traditional joinery and getting more into the craft of woodworking. So I have my cut lists ready to go and have some wood behind me that I got and sourced. So yeah, I'm also going to be doing this specifically today because we have a looming snowstorm that's coming this weekend, and today is the only day that I'm able to do this outside. So it's 50 degrees. Tomorrow, apparently, we're going to get a snowstorm for the ages, apparently, is what they say. So let's do this today, and hopefully we'll get this done. First, I'm going to make all my cuts. I'm going to be cutting 3 1x2s into the legs, and then I'll be cutting in half in just a little bit. Then I'll cut 6 cross pieces at 10 3/4 inch each. I'm going to leave my cut list in the description below, and then we'll have a transfer screenshot of the plans later on in this video as well if you're interested in making this too. Okay, quick intermission for the fit. Getting to wear the corduroy jacket that I made. But really cute. Really cute. If you missed that, I will link it up in the cards above. Also, these are the first time I'm wearing these thrifted work jeans that I got from Seattle thrift store there. Super love. I love that it's loose. I love that it's reinforced on the knees and sick. Okay, let's get back to woodworking. Anyways, back to the legs. I want to round out the edges, so I'm going to use a 1/4 inch round over to soften them up. Now we have a rounded set of sharp edges. So I just want to get into why this specific project in the way that it's going to be built. So for our hallway, it's very skinny and very long. So I wanted to build something to use that length without taking too much space width-wise in the hallway. Right now, all of our shoes are kind of just jumbled up on the side of the hallway. So we needed something to corral everything. What we have is just not working. With 3 people living here, it just kind of combines all into one. So I'm going to be basing this design off of a furniture piece from Liminal Studio here. This is a very beautiful 2 or 3 tiered shelf. They make both, and it is very beautiful, very simple. I'm not sure if they're using any fasteners for this, but it looks like they are utilizing the mortise and tenons. We're actually using wedged mortise and tenons here with the different colors. As much as I would love to use hardwood, I'm not going to be using that for this. I'm just using straight up pine you can get from the big box store. I'm just trying to keep the cost low. I don't expect to move this with my next move into my next place, wherever that is. So that's why we're just working with pine today. Otherwise, I would love to use walnut or acacia. That'd be so nice to have downstairs. But yeah, just know that pine is just not going to be the most durable if you do end up using pine like I am. But this is just a simple entryway project and a simple introduction to mortise and tenon for me. So I'd rather practice that on soft wood that's cheap. Yeah, and then we can move on to more expensive things. So yeah, let's get back to the project. I just love when I don't realize I am recording in slow-mo. But basically, I was explaining how I was practicing my mortise and tenon joint off camera. First, I cut a hole or mortise in the wood with a chisel, and then I cut the second piece to create a kind of like puzzle piece or tenon that will fit into that hole. I think I did a decent job with the tools that I had. The mortise was definitely not the prettiest, but the tenon fit pretty snug in there, and I couldn't pull the pieces apart after I put those in. So I think I did pretty good. To help me get more accurate cuts, I picked up this marking gauge I got off clearance from Woodcraft. Basically, it's a rod with measurements on the rod so that you can slide the gauge to the appropriate measurement. At the end, it's a blade to mark the wood, which will tell me where to create my mortise and tenon. This is not exactly totally necessary to do this. A combination square would do just fine. In fact, this mini one I've had for a while from Amazon is super great. It comes with a mechanical pencil as well, and it's perfect for getting thin and accurate lines. And I have these little dots on them to help you put your measurements on there, which is really nice. To cut the tenons, I also picked up this saw, which is so cute, and I will call it cute for the rest of this video, so sorry. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed using this little saw because it is nice and easy to handle, and the blade is really thin, so it's really easy to use for cutting the tenons. Alas, that's all I can do for the day and for a while due to the crazy ice storm we got, so I will see you in a couple days. All right, it is a week and a half since we started this project, and it is finally warm enough to be outside to do this. It is 45 degrees outside now. The ice is finally melted, and I'm really excited to finish this today. So yeah, it looks like we've been blessed by my parents' cat. I'm at my parents' house. My patio is still a little bit of ice over because it gets a little bit more shade than sun, so that's why we're working on here today. So hello, Sun. Say hello to Sun. He's a sweetie. It's been really hard to work with him on the table, but it's fine. So I have my plans right here, and we're going to be doing the mortise and tenons today, making our mortise and our tenons here. I'm going to work around him. We have the legs, and then we have another leg here that we're going to do another mortise. Excuse me. Hi. Hello. Okay. So here's the legs, and then the cross brace is going to go here. That's going to connect the two legs together, and then there's going to be a board that's going to sit across for the actual All right, let's start with mortising the legs. For each leg, we have 2 mortises, as we're going to have 2 shells for the shoe bench. I took some math to figure this out, but we finally got there. I will put the plans up on screen if you'd like to screenshot it as well. Using my marking gauge, I'm going to mark out where the mortises will go. Then I'll chisel out with a 1/2-inch chisel. This is not exactly a mortising chisel, but it will do the job for now, and that's all we have, so I'm just going to use that. I'm going to start off with an 1/8 to 3/8 inch from the end and start chiseling layer by layer, removing the waste. I'm using a screwdriver here just to pull things out of the way. Once we have some space in here, and then I can start creeping up to the end of our mortise. If we were to start right at the end, the wood is going to be broken up around the chisel, and that ends up causing the mortise to be a little bit bigger because the wood doesn't have anywhere to go. So it's nice to do it inward from the end first and then creep up to the edge. Hope that makes sense. Hi. Hi. I'm going to be the star of the show, because you are the star of the show. Yes, hi. After the mortise is fully cut out, I'm going to clean this up with the inside of the mortise a little bit, just my inch chisel and 1/4-inch chisel. Okay, so these mortises are done. They are not the prettiest, but they are done. I was hoping to get the tenons done today, but I had a late start at like 3:30 today because I slept in a bit and just like had to take my time because the last like 2-3 weeks have been chaotic. I've been working on like 4 different things, including hosting a big party, which you guys will be seeing soon. So I was really exhausted, and today was like the first day I had to like just sleep in and have a very slow morning. So it's okay. I'll do the tenons tomorrow. Plus, I forgot the mini saw to do the tenons, and I'm trying to use like the regular handsaw that my dad has here. It's too thick, like the kerf is too thick, the blade, so that it doesn't give me like a nice, pretty cut. The saw that I have, that mini saw, is more fine tooth, so it's a lot easier to get nice, cleaner cuts. And I have a little bit more control with that since it's a lot smaller versus like being a big handsaw. I did end up splitting some of them. I only did split 2 of them, so that's good. Basically, since this is pine, it's super soft. It splits very easily, especially if you're not doing it correctly. So I just put some glue and clamps on for a little bit, and this would be just fine. You can't really tell if you look from afar, but again, if we were to make this like actually really nice, we make it out of nicer hardwoods. But yeah, trying to keep things at cost effective as possible. And this is just a straight up simple shoe bench for a temporary thing. So I'm still pretty happy with that. So all those mortises actually took a while, a little bit longer than I thought, but it's okay. I actually missed the wood a little bit sometimes and hit my hand that was holding the chisel. And so I have like a small little bump here on my knuckle. You can't really tell too bad, but it is going to be quite bruised tomorrow. It's already a little blue, so I don't know if you can tell it on camera at all. But ouchies. DIY life. So but yeah, I will see you tomorrow at my house to do the tenons and then we can install. Yay! All right, so we can finally do our tenons because I have my little cute saw now. Again, we used a marking gauge to mark all of our things. I have shaded out the waste that is going to be coming out, so we're just going to have this tenon right here in the middle here. Then I'll put it into the vise, cut it with my saw, and since I'm cutting pine, this cuts like butter. I found sawing the tenons by hand was quite relaxing and enjoyable, so here's a slow moment for your day. Let's do a test fit. This tenon is a bit big, which is what I want actually, because then I can sand or trim little by little till the tenon fits perfectly into the mortise nice and snug. Before I assemble it all together, I'm going to drill a hole halfway on the cross pieces and to put a dowel in there so that our boards can be aligned and stay in place, like how Liminal Studio has it here. I will also add corresponding holes to the underside of my boards so that it can sit onto the dowels. Speaking of Liminal Studio, I also noticed looking back on the pictures there that there is a detail of an ever so slight chamfer on the boards. It's so subtle, but it's what takes it from entry-level DIY to a little bit more finesse. And I know I'm just doing this with pine, but hey, the little details matter, so I'm going to add that last detail on my boards, and then we'll be ready to assemble. Hooray, it's done! Oh my god, we're finally done with this project and I'm super proud in how this came out. Of course, it's definitely not perfect, but I am very, very grateful to learn new skills every time. This is a traditional woodworking joinery that I've been wanting to learn and be better at. So yeah, I'm really glad and I can put all my techniques that I'm learning together and slowly build something from scratch. And I definitely need to practice more because my mortises are definitely still quite atrocious. So yeah, but you know what? With the next one, we'll get better. I'll get more accurate with the measurements. I think that's where I kind of went wrong. The chiseling also was not really super great. So my tenons actually ended up being kind of okay. They're definitely not perfect either, but they definitely fit snug in most of the joints. Most of the joints actually ended up being pretty snug without any glue whatsoever. There was one that I cut the tenon a little too small that I had to cheat and put a little bit of glue on that one temporarily. So I didn't want to glue it also because I do plan on staining this later on. It's just too cold outside to actually stain it and have it dry correctly. So I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit warmer and I'm going to take it apart to stain it and sand it some more and clean it up some more as well. I did find that the bench is also a little wobbly. And I think part of that is because I should have, one, put two dowels for each cross brace to attach to the top board to prevent it from twisting so much. And two, I don't know if maybe I didn't cut the legs completely straight, or maybe there's not enough surface area for the legs to sit straight. But I feel like it's more of the former rather than the latter. I don't think I cut it evenly. Or my floors aren't level, which also could be a factor because a lot of houses are not level. So I'm going to chalk it up to that for now. And said my cuts are totally straight and totally perfect. But yeah, I'm still super proud of this bench project, even though it wasn't perfect. It's not going to be to the levels of professionals who've been doing this for years and perfecting their craft. And I have to remind myself that all the time because a lot of us, especially, want to be very good at something very fast. And we have to remind ourselves, we have to give ourselves grace that we're trying this for the first time and we have to start somewhere and we're going to have to get better with more practice and more experience and giving ourselves time and grace to fail and having the audacity to try. Okay, that is the most important part. So, yeah, you may not be perfect at first. No one is. So, just keep trying and keep having that audacity. And, maybe one day you'll be like, yeah, I can DIY that and have the delulu like I do to build anything and make anything. So, it's very nice, very empowering. And you know what? Even if I do fail, I think it really still stimulates the creativity in my brain. So, like, it really gives me a lot of joy, even if it doesn't go right. Don't get me wrong, it's so frustrating when things don't go right. I have almost cried, slash, I have cried from many projects that have failed. So, don't get discouraged. It does happen, and you just keep on moving forward. Just a reminder. But yeah, thank you so much for your patience with this video. I know it was a little bit longer of a wait than I wanted to. I'm trying to do every 2 weeks, but I can't promise that I'm going to be consistent every single time because life happens and I have a full-time job still. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be regular, but yeah. But you won't have to wait as long for the next video because that one I have been working on as well in 3 other videos at the same time. I've had so much going on in the last couple weeks and they are going to come to you like that. And yeah, I was super excited to share with you. So I will see you at the next one. Bye.